So I think this rumor sprouted in around 2015, but apparently Apple was trying to make a video streaming service that could compete with Netflix and Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, and every one of those services. But apparently they weren't able to get enough studios to get on board with it. One of my guesses is that the big studio that wouldn't budge for it was Disney, which I read reports people were saying that in meetings with Apple kept using the factor that because they are Apple, they should let them have streaming rights, which is hilarious. I'd love to see those meetings. Why should we give you all of our libraries to stream? We're Apple. That's why. That's great. That's something they would do too. However, rumors are sprouting up again that Apple may be coming back to this. Maybe Disney's coming around to the idea that DVDs and Blu-ray sales are going to start declining, and having your foot in the door towards all streaming services may in the long run keep you more safe in terms of your finances. The most recent reports are saying that Apple is looking for original content creators to make their own originals. So they're not kidding when they say Netflix competitor, which is quite a bold thing to go into because Netflix has over 60 original movies and TV shows and all that in 1 year. It's only going to grow since then. I think Netflix has the goal of making half their content original. So I think at this point it's crazy for anyone to think they could actually be a worthy Netflix competitor. But at the same time, Apple Music came around to compete with Spotify. Could it compete with Spotify? Not really. Spotify always is going to do better. But man, Apple Music made a great service. The real opportunity Apple has here is one of the best deals alone for all entertainment. Not one company has their foot in both doors of both all the music you can ever want, as well as all the movies and TV shows you could ever want. So how big will Apple's selection of movies be? It's hard to say right now, of course, but when Apple Music came out, just about 90% of the library iTunes possessed was transferred over, which as we all know is pretty dang enormous. So when I subscribed to Apple Music, I got basically every song I could ever want all in that one package. So when Apple Movies comes out, what if all the movies iTunes possesses now becomes available for streaming if you're part of that subscription service? Pretty crazy to think about because that's an insane library of movies, wider than any other service. And I think Apple Movies, if you had that wide of a selection, could be a real Netflix competitor. Now to gain the rights to stream all of that content, you have to pay quite a bit to the distributors who produce them, which in the long run could mean that this subscription service is not as cheap as Netflix. In fact, it could end up being a lot. But this could be one of a kind type of streaming service. The first ever to cost maybe 2-3 times more than all the rest, but to cover more content than any of them ever could. So in other words, you're getting what you pay for. But that extra incentive is Apple could bundle it with Apple Music. So this would be the best Apple-ish kind of subscription service anyone could ask for, because it might be the most expensive one out there, maybe $30, $40 a month. The sky's really the limit. It is Apple. But with one service, you get the widest selection of movies and TV shows ever, as well as all the music you could ever ask for. All of this, of course, available for download on all of Apple's devices, maybe even Android devices. They did put Apple Music on Android. So that combo service would be very, very expensive, but it'd basically be the service to end all services. To me, that seems like something Apple would go for. The premium plan that gives you all of the stuff ever. I want the movies, I want the music. You get it all. People are saying that if Apple wants to survive in the 21st century, they have to focus on services because Apple's making most of their money right now through hardware. But as sales are showing, that might not be as reliable in the future. I think entertainment in both movies and music could be a big reason for services to keep them afloat. Also, Apple Originals. For those who don't know, I have a ton of screenplay ideas. In fact, I want to be a filmmaker. Tech reviewing, I'll always do that, but it's not my main goal in life. I have stories I want to tell, which if I worked for Apple while being able to make those amazing movies I have, that'd be incredible. That's like a dream come true. Very unlikely, yeah, I get it, but I'm allowed to dream. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.